Hey, Dr. Amanda coming at you here with some concerns again that I'm seeing, like I had said I would see a long time ago. You guys who've been following me know since the rollout, I've been concerned about cardiovascular problems and clots for sure. And now it's happening. We are having our clots come through. I would love to show you guys this file, but I already sent it in. I did get a picture of it. My practice has a lot of unvaccinated people because I'm very vocal about this, and we've attracted our people, and I'm helping with exemptions in the past, and now it's really helping the few that are vaccinated that are in my practice. Now, I don't draw blood in here very often. We just do a couple a week, and the amount of vaccinated that I have coming in, and it's kind of concerning to see most of those people not be a rarity about their blood looking a little different. When I take a CBC, so a complete blood count, I'm looking at all the indices for red blood cells, lots of little factors to it telling me how big it's growing, what shape it is, how many are there, how much hemoglobin's on it, to hold oxygen, etc. I am that part is looking fine if we're not anemic. There's definitely some anemia issues from spike proteins, whether it be from your jab or from natural immunity, right? The natural immunity ones are going away longer. The jab ones, if our mRNA is making it, we don't know when it's going to get triggered to be made, right? There could be any of those clotting cascades could possibly be getting triggered. So I'll talk a little bit more about what that process is here in a little minute. But sadly, when I'm drawing blood, not only are you going to see immediately a stop of bleeding, that's a bleed time. Old naturopathic cardiologists would have us do in residency. Dr. Milliner up in Portland had a great one in his lab, and it's old school, a little barbaric, but you basically see how long you're bleeding once you get cut. It's very, specific size of cut, and we watch it and dab it, and it should, I believe, it was somewhere between 7 and 10, 12 seconds was good. Any faster than your clotter, basically, or you're clotting too soon, so we want to help that blood. The other pathways looking like your doctor might check all the time, INRs for people who are on Coumadin, this kind of thing, that's going to check that intrinsic pathway that vitamin K, or extrinsic, that vitamin K is needing. Extrinsic is when something outside comes into the blood cell and stimulates, oh my gosh, this is foreign, we need to heal this and clot it and get out and protect it. Something happens intrinsically that is its own cascade pathway going through all the factor 12s down to 1 being fibrinogen, which we can test in the blood too, which is really cool. So that pathway is sensitive to calcium, too much, too little. This is why calcium is so important to be monitored well in our blood. And then the common pathway is the most common, and that will just create the platelet plugs. So we, get a scratch, and you're going to see that little head of healing tissue, that platelet plug, and your body's going to, heal up on that. Some people heal too much, Mediterranean skin, and we get a keloid. I've had those before. So a step back, labs you might want to do with your doctor. If you're concerned, you might have a little bit of some extra thickening going on in your blood. So you just have these concerns in general, your doctor should easily okay these. A CBC with the differential to see all the white blood cells. And there are a lot, and then you're going to see what's going on with the platelets. The lab is sending these ones back saying platelets are clumped. When I spin it down, it should be clear, it's red, and clumpy. I'm seeing the clots in this blood. I've never seen this before. I have been looking at blood for 20 years, from med school up now. That's 20 years in the biz. And I ain't never seen that before, you guys. So this is a public announcement to help out, spread the information for everybody. Go get FIbrinogen added onto that CBC. You can get a D-dimer, especially if the platelet does come back. First, I would just do the CBC, see if there is any clumping. You can wait around until after your doctor spins down your blood too, or your MA in lab, and ask to look at it. It's going to be the purple tube. You're going to want to see if it's clear afterwards or if it's red and bloody. Then you could work up further testing with D-dimer. Fibrinogen is always a good one to do too, especially if you're diabetic or metabolic syndromes. They can have a tendency to have higher levels of the fibrinins, which is an activated fibrinogen. And the cool thing is there's a lot of things for fibrolytics. If you're in an emergency state, you're going to go in and get heparin. If you want to manage it, we use different things that we can help kind of even work with, like Coumadin, so you don't have to do so much Coumadin, this kind of thing, different fibrolytics, all possibilities out here to use. So, but I want to back up first and let you know what the signs are to, say, a deep vein thrombosis, or any odd different areas you might be having clots develop. But the usual ones are going to be your lower legs, just because the blood sinks down, and the only way for it to come back up is through you walking and those little valves stopping it and helping it move up. So it's got a little more time to kind of pool around in between those veins, and especially if, you know, it's heavy, it goes down lower. You know, if it's clumping up, it's going to kind of start falling. Seems to be, you know, the usual place. I don't doubt there's going to be all kinds of new places that we're seeing. Of course, you know, if it gets to lung, you're going to have different symptoms, so I'll get there next. First is if you have an area that is hot to the touch, swelling going on, edema just in one area, you know, getting red, maybe distension of the veins, this kind of thing, you're going to want to have your doctor order you a Doppler. It's the sonogram or a venography, but that can check for the DVTs. We're just going to use an ultrasound and look for it in your legs. And then if it comes up, we're most likely going to give you a shot of heparin right then and there, send you over to the ER to get an IV of it. But that's not my area of expertise, right? Sending you there is making sure I see and catch things. So for my patients that have these things, I've called you, we have concerns. This video is for you really to here to look for the signs. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of signs. And these old doctor tests like the Homan sign is pretty old school. It has a lot of differentials with it. My Italian hands going there. But it is essentially you bend your knee and you dorsiflex your foot, and you're like, what the hell is dorsiflex? Okay, I'll show you. So you're gonna go like bend your chucks backwards, you can see, and your knee forward, and that's gonna give a bend there. And if it when you stretch the back of your calf, does it hurt? Essentially, right? That'll be a nice little sign too. Let me double check anything else. As far just discomfort in the calf in general could be it even. But the heat, the pain, the edema, swelling, definitely. You could go straight to your ER if you're really concerned, because if these things get hit and jabbed or you squeezed it too much thinking you're doing the other kind of Homan sign, it could dislodge. So if it dislodges, moves towards your heart, first it's going to usually go in. It's going to go in the way of veins go in, which is to the lungs first to get oxygenated before they go to the heart. So you can catch it, first there. People have definitely lived with them going to their lungs. Unfortunately, too many women after pregnancies have experienced these. But breathing too much, tachypnea. If you're like catching your breath, you're like, whoa, I can't can't get my breathing under control. A lot of that going on anyway, especially even after this video. You might be thinking, oh my God, I've got anxiety, I've got vaccinated, this could be me. Not necessarily, but unfortunately, looking at the research there, everything coming out right now is pretty intense. From mainly our insurance companies, American, German, huge research they're doing. They're looking at why all the payouts. It's ICD-9 1069.1, which is clot formation of the platelets. Anyway, once it gets to your lungs, the breathing there, heart pain, chest pain, then you definitely want to get in if it gets to that point. You have concerns. So cool things though with the fibrinogens that are out there and used in different ways. They can go in and work right at once that fibrous clot's already there, which I'm seeing, so it can go in and kind of eat those things up. Food wise, we have like the inside of pineapple that will help eat things down, bromelain. If you take digestive enzymes away from food, they'll go into your body and eat up dead tissue. And that can be definitely qualified as a dead tissue, especially because it's right in the blood there. Your digestive enzymes can get through amylase, lipase, they break down carbohydrates, but we get in the whole spectrum of all of them. It can get in, and all those guys can help break down other kind of proteins, break up these clots. The high level, I really love it, it's so exciting. It is fermented soy earthworms. I mean, any gardener knows how important earthworms are. They are fermented in China, Asia, I believe all the way down in Thailand, and definitely Japan is where we get the majority of them. And ceratokinase or nattokinase. And those kinases are the proteolytic side that can go and eat up the fibers down. So how freaking cool is that, right? That's definitely a higher level one. When we work down from there, fish oil, omega-3s, they keep the viscosity of the blood moving smoothly so they don't stick together. It's one pathway. Platelets of 100% aspirin. Aspirin is tried and true, but you can always do white willow bark, which I've been adding a little bit just for my own pain into my teas, but wouldn't be a bad idea for people who are concerned about clots. Drosera, that is the fly agaric that will eat up. Well, fly agaric is the Amanita. Drosera is that other one that eats flies, right? A carnivorous. And these carnivorous plants can eat up protein. So even homeopathically, that might be something your doctor might talk to you about utilizing, or drop dosage. Herbs. So that's all like wild things the Mother Earth and planet have here to help us with, from earthworms to the fly agaric, or the, what are those ones called? Yeah. Anyway, the Drosera carnivorous fly trap, right? I think that's what it is. So the omega-3s is probably one of the safest things. Even with me having surgery coming up, it's still allowed to be on your blood circulating coumadins and different things. So, I mean, I'm not going to go up real high, like 4 grams on my fish oil before I go into surgery. And I'm just going to do a little bit. I definitely want my eye moisturized, everything lubricated well. But it's one of those things, as we get older, we get less flexible and we get a little more harder, and these help keep your tissue softened. All right, guys, I hope this was helpful for you. Please reach out, have any concerns, utilize naturopathic medicine by getting a naturopath on board, help to customize anything here for you. And I'm going to be out the next 2 weeks with my eye surgery, but we're happy to draw blood here Tuesday, Thursday mornings and help you, or send out orders. I can easily click out electronic orders to Quest. Diagnostics, not my favorite, but I do it. All right, you guys, take care. I love y'all, and wish me luck Monday morning. My eye chopping. Take care.